Hi, this is Ken1171, and in this video I want to show you a new script I have created for a new figure created by Hivewire 3D, the Dawn2 figure. She is the first version of Dawn to come with a facial rig, meaning she has bones to pose the face as opposed to only morphs. Of course, she also has morphs, and those can be used together, but the thing is, Dawn2 doesn't have facial chips, meaning we cannot click and drag the controls directly on the face as we can with some other figures. So how do we pose her face, you may think? Then we select the face or just the body, and then go to the dials here. For example, we have dials for head and body. If I expand the head and go to browse, we have poses and shapes. On the poses, we have, for example, here a dial to raise and lower the eyebrows. So we can do this both at the same time with that or with only the left side. And this is how her facial rig works. You have to look for the dials, and they are organized like by face, brows, eyes, ears, and so on. But then I thought, that what if I can control these dials directly from a graphical interface, like I can with other figures? So I created this script called the RigControl for Dawn2, where you have dots that control all parts of her face, body, hands, feet. And I have a fifth tab here that is for storing and retrieving your own presets with memory dots. We're gonna get back to that in a minute. So how do I control, for example, the eyebrows? If I want to control a single bone, I should use the red dots. Red dots means an individual bone that exists on Dawn's body or face. You may notice here that we have dark red dots. By the way, all the dots are color-coded, so you identify quickly what they are. So what are the dark red dots? Well, those are the dials. Actually, they're not dials, they're groups. If I go here to the dial groups, you have the upper face and the lower face. There are just groups to organize the dials so you can find them easier. They are not dials, but they actually have a bone on the face. So that's why I included them here. If you look here at the black bar at the bottom, if I hover the mouse, it shows me the names of the control. And if I hover the mouse over this one here, one of these dark red dots, it says upper face and the other one lower face. So although they're not supposed to be used because they're not dials, they are actually groups of dials, I included them here just because they have a bone in the face. So you can actually dial them if you want to. You'll notice that they obviously were not meant to be dialed, but if you want to, they are here. Okay, so the red dots are the individual bones on her face. For example, this one here, it says, if you look here at the black bar, the left brow inner. So if I drag this up and down, you'll notice that exactly what I'm controlling here. The inner brow, this one here, up and down. And then I have the blue dots. The blue dots are not bones. They don't control a bone on the face. Actually, they control multiple at the same time. Let's see an example here. We have brow line raise. If I dial this, it raises and lowers Dawn's brows both at the same time. So this is a remote control, an ERC, that's controlling both left and right sides at the same time. And I have one here. If you look this dot here, look at the description here at the bottom, brows up and down, that's exactly what it controls. So the blue dots are not controlling a specific bone on the face, they're controlling a whole group of them, so as a remote control. Let's say you post one of these control dots here. You do this by clicking and dragging, okay, up and down or side to side. This control doesn't have side-side, it only has up-down. And if I want to reset this one specifically, I right-click it. So I put the mouse here and right-click. And that brings the control back to default value. If you look here, raise the brows again. you'll notice here that it has set a dial. If I reset this dial, you see here that it resets the dial here too. So right-clicking is for resetting that specific control. You might notice here, let me open the mouth. You do that by moving the jawbone. And you'll notice here we can also control the teeth. For example, up and down, the upper teeth, or up and down or side the lower teeth. So we have full control over the inner mouth through this. For example, the 3 dots that control the tongue. This is the first bone, and then the tip. I can curl just the tip or move it to side. So it's very intuitive how this works. Let me reset this and close the mouth. All right, this is what those things here are. This is the tongue with the 3 joints, and this is the upper and lower teeth. We can also control the ears. If you look here, it has general ear control, and it also has the earlobes here, and we can control those as well. And then you may ask, hey Ken, how do I control both sides at the same time? Some dials here have a control for that. For example, this ERC here, remember the blue dots are the ones that control multiple dials at once. This one here controls eyes up and down. And it also coordinates this. If you look at the preview, it also controls the lids, upper and lower lids in conjunction. So this is a powerful way to pose the eyes that takes the eyelids in consideration. And this other one here moves both eyes side. But what about dials that don't have, for example, let me see, the upper eyelid here? You see I can only control one side at a time. What if I want to control both at the same time? Well, we have here options at the bottom here. Those are all options. We can filter up and down movement only or side only. If I disable side, I can only move it up and down, which it's useful in case you don't want to have any side motion. We also have symmetry. If I activate symmetry, it enables an invert option. We're going to see that in a sec. So with symmetry enabled, if I go back to the lower lid, now I can pose both at the same time. So that's how you do it. For dials or bones that don't have symmetry, this has no effect. If I invert this, for example, if I want to move the eyes to different sides, for example, like this, that's how you do it. You invert symmetry. Let me reset the eyes, reset the side here. And if I want to make her cross-eyed, this is how I would do. I activate symmetry with inverted axis. Let me reset this. All right, so let's take a look on the options we have. Let's say I created a preset that I like and I want to save it. The way I do that is I go to the face presets, and here I have memory dots to save what you have done here. Any bones you have moved are going to be saved. So let's select a vacant dot, which are the hollow ones. I'm going to select this bottom one here. If I just click, you'll notice that the face moved. That was to make the camera frame the thumbnail, which is controlled by this control here, the auto frame thumbnail. This automatically sets the camera at the right position to frame the head, takes a picture to create a thumbnail. So every time I hover the mouse over this memory dot here, it shows me the preview here at the bottom, like this. And you see that it's offering me options here. I can add a caption. So if I right-click this dot, I can add a caption to it. Let's say, my preset face. You can type here anything you want. Now, next time you hover the mouse, you not only get a thumbnail, but if you look there, it also gets the preset name caption that you just set. If I want to delete this, let's see what the caption says. I have to, see here, there it says alt-click, just like memory dots you have in Poser, like the UE dots. If I alt-click this, I delete this preset. So with this, you have 25 slots to set your own presets. If you look here, I have a smile preset that I saved. Here it is applied. I have a lips pose, so it only sets the lips. If I reset the face, you'll see that if I apply this preset, only the lips are going to be set. And then I thought, when making the script, what if I want to use this mouth pose with some other expression I had? For example, if I have this smile here, which poses the eye, the brows, and the mouth, what if I want to apply only the lips part, which is this preset here that I set, so that I can mix and match different presets together? And that's what the second option I have here do. By default, this option is enabled, which is resetting the head before applying any preset you have saved. So if I disable this and apply this other preset that has only the lips part, it's going to apply only that one and ignore the rest. Thing is, what it did here, it combined the smile with that pose, and that's not exactly what I wanted. Let me see if I have another preset that's going to do. Oh yeah, I have to enable this back, otherwise it's not going to reset the face. Yeah, this one uses the same one, so yeah, that's not going to do. But you got the idea. If I disable this, it's going to combine the preset I have right now with the one I'm loading. For example, if I load the smile, it's combining. You see that I don't have the same smile I had before. It's combining the pose I had on the face already with this new preset I loaded. However, if I enable this back and load the same preset again, the one with the smile, you'll see I have a different result. So that's why I have this option, so we can combine presets to create another one. Alright, let's take a look on body. If I switch now to full body here, we have the same kind of color coding, meaning that, for example, this one controls the head, so I can pose the head here just by dragging the mouse, and here the neck. And again, since this is a red dot, it means it's controlling a bone directly. We also have the breasts. Remember, I have enabled symmetry, so when I pose one, I can pose both at the same time. Mind you, this is a red dot, but it doesn't have a group on the figure, so you cannot select it on the figure. You will have to find a dial to do that. So this script makes it more intuitive to find and do things very quickly. These three here are for the spine. Here is the chest, abdomen 2, and abdomen 1. On these two here, this is one thigh, but since I have symmetry enabled, I'm controlling both at the same time. If I only want to control one, let me reset this. Remember, you reset it by right-clicking the control dot. I deactivate symmetry, and now I can pose only one leg, and finally the shin. If I want to reset everything I did, I click on the reset button here. Remember, all pages have this red dot, but when I click this one, it's not going to reset the face or the hands or feet. It only resets these controls here. Let's click that now. You see, it reset only the dots that are here. It didn't affect the face. If I want to reset the face, I click on the reset dot for that page. Now it has reset the face. Alright, so we also have all the ERCs, the remote controls. This one is head up and down, but now using ERCs, which also coordinate the head motion with the neck. And so on and so forth. What this one does is the shrug control. Yeah. So this controls all parts of the torso. It also has some ERCs for the legs here. Let me see. The legs bend, which although I don't have leg symmetry enabled, you'll see here that this control on its own, it controls both legs at the same time. And then we have leg split. Yeah, I have to be more or less on a side view to see what this does. It does the front split, and then the other one does the side split. For each one of these blue dots, you will find a dial somewhere on the figure, and for the red ones, this one controls the pelvis. That's the same as using the general controls rotation here for the selected group, except here you don't have to select anything. Alright, let's take a look on hands. Let me zoom up on a hand. As usual, I have the red dots that controls specific joints on the body. You can see here I am moving side-side the mouse, and the finger moves side-side. Let's say, let me reset this. I don't want it to move side-side. I only want up and down. So I disabled side-side, and now I'm going to do it again. It only does up-down. It ignores side-side, which may be useful if you don't want that At the same time, I can do the opposite. I can disable up, down, and now I can only, the mouse motion can only account for side, side. So it's good to have the options. We have all the remote controls here. For example, left fist, that controls all parts of the hand at the same time. If I right click it, I reset it. The left hand straighten. What else? The left grasp, like she's carrying something. And then the fingers spread. On the thumb, we have individual controls for posing for a fist, only the thumb, and for the grasp. There on the top, I have 3 extra left fingers together, which is separate from the spread, and the grasp only for the fingers. That's why they're on the top there. This only affects the fingers. And for one is this one, the fingers fist. All right, let's take a look on the, oh yeah, since this is hand controls, this dot at the bottom here controls the hand bending. Side, side, or to any side. You can do this with symmetry as well. Let's move to the feet. Here we have all the controls for the feet. For example, this one is for the feet, side, side, or up, down. This is for the metatarsals, which don't have a control here. You see, you cannot select it on the figure. You would have to find a dial for that. So this controls the metatarsals, and this for the toes. So you can quickly make shoes, high heels, shoes, pose here. If you enable symmetry, you can do to both sides at the same time. You can control all parts of the toes. Let me reset here, enable symmetry. You'll see that I can do this on both sides at the same time. So you can control any parts of any toes directly from here. Let me reset this. And the ERCs, let's see what we have. We have the curls, the curling. Since I have symmetry, I'm doing both sides at the same time. If I disable that, I can do this only to one side. And last one is the spread. If you look from the top here, we can bring the toes together or spread them with the blue dots, which controls multiple dials at the same time. And finally, face controls. This is face rig memory dots. I want to make something clear here. This will not save any morphs. It will only save bones from the face rig. Meaning, if you apply, for example, the smile that I have saved here, and you have a character morph applied, it will not affect it. So it's completely independent from morphs. This is important to know. When you save a preset here, you're not saving morphs. You're only saving the face preset, meaning the bones from the face. So it's kept completely separate. And then one last thing I didn't mention is the include head rotations. By default, this page here only saves the facial rigs. For example, if I have posed the head, you can do that from here, from the body. If I put some rotations on the face, that will not be saved with the face preset. But if you enable this checkbox here, enable head rotations, next time you save a preset, it will include that too. So that's because some expressions have a special meaning when the head has a certain pose. So that's what this option is for. And as usual, if you click the question mark, you can open the PDF manual, where you can get more information about everything I have mentioned here. And that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks for watching.